Hello, in this video we'll try to go through Baruch Spinoza's metaphysics and his defense of his definitions of a substance, essence, attributes and modes. For Spinoza, all things that exist are either substances or modes. A substance is independent and infinite. It depends on nothing for its existence and it is self-caused. A mode is always the effect of a cause. It requires sufficient reason to exist. Its conception and existence depend on something else outside itself. The notion of an independent substance and dependent modes predates Spinoza to the pre-Socratics, but the majority of philosophers postulated that there are many substances in existence, and here comes Spinoza's first contention with philosophers before him and also his contemporaries. He argues that there is only one substance, called God or nature. Although it is important here to note that he doesn't mean nature in the way we understand nature today as the collection of trees, mountains and waterfalls. But I think this topic would better be addressed in a separate video. So for Spinoza, humans, animals, plants and all things that exist are not substances, they are merely modes, and this position is what is called substance monism. Spinoza presents his substance monism in the first part of the Ethics. He advances the following premises. First, a substance must have at least one attribute. An attribute is that which the intellect perceives as constituting the essence of a substance. Second, two substances cannot share the same attribute. Third, God, the infinite substance, possesses all attributes. Fourth, it is impossible for any other substance to exist because it would have to possess an attribute that God already has. The first premise is self-evident. It's inconceivable for a substance to exist without having any attribute. It wouldn't have any essence, and a thing that has zero attributes and zero essence is not a thing that exists. The second premise claims that two substances cannot have the same attributes or attribute, because if two substances had the same attribute, they wouldn't be two different substances, but only one and the same substance. We can assume or counter-argue that substances can be differentiated by their attributes or by their modes. But modes are finite, and their existence follows from the existence of the substance and are not constitutive of it. Hence, they cannot be counted as what differentiates a substance from another. What truly differentiates a substance from another is its attributes, not its modes. So if two substances had the same attributes but different modes, those two substances cannot be two different substances, and they would be the same. Spinoza's argument for the existence of God. First, if two things don't have anything in common, one cannot be the cause of the other. Second, it is not possible for two substances to possess the same attribute. Third, two substances that possess different attributes do not have anything in common. Fourth, hence, one substance cannot cause another substance to exist. Fifth, therefore, only one substance exists, and it exists by its own nature. Its essence involves existence. We've established that, according to Spinoza, only one substance exists. It's self-caused and it possesses infinite attributes. Yet, humans can only access and understand two. Let's recall the definition of an attribute. It's that which the intellect perceives as constituting the essence of a substance. The two attributes that humans can perceive are thought and extension. It is legitimate to ask the question, why does a substance have modes? The more imposing a thing is, the more modes it has. Let's consider a circle. The circle's modes are the radius, the diameter, and the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, pi, which is always the same. Why does a circle have those modes? It's because of what it is. The greater a thing is, the more modes it has. God, as a substance, has more modes than a circle, or a triangle, or anything. God's modes are people, animals, rocks, and everything that exists. The circle's essence is finite, and hence it has only finite modes. God's essence is infinite, and hence God's modes are infinite as well. Spinoza's theory of attributes is very unorthodox because it's very different from how other philosophers have approached essence and attributes. For Descartes, for example, a substance's essence is its attribute. Now contrast that with Spinoza, who defines an attribute as that which the intellect intellect perceives as what constitutes the essence of a substance. For Descartes and many other philosophers, a substance has but one attribute. Spinoza holds an attribute as that which the intellect perceives as what constitutes the essence of a substance, and he argues that an infinite substance has infinite attributes, and that only two attributes are accessible to our understanding, the attribute of thought and the attribute of extension. What's puzzling about Spinoza's definition is that it ascribes more than one attribute to a substance, and this leaves us facing a bit of a conundrum. Readers of Spinoza struggle to understand how one substance can have many attributes, because this could mean that a substance could have many essences. There are two possible readings here. Subjectivists consider an attribute as that which seems to constitute the essence of a substance, as in not that which constitutes a substance. The intellect is incapable of perceiving the actual essence. They argue that there is a single attribute, but that it is unfathomable by humans. That's why the human intellect parses it into virtual attributes. The plurality of attributes is but a subterfuge to overcome the incapacity to understand the real attributes. Objectivists hold the essence of the substance to be truly made of many attributes. This poses a problem because essence is arguably by definition singular. Objectivists back their position by referring to Spinoza, who says that intellects in the plural form perceive attributes as separate. The fact that intellects is in the plural signifies that it is not just humans' flawed intellect that perceives attributes as plural, but even God's intellect, and hence they are truly plural. The human condition. Spinoza's understanding of the lives of humans follows from his metaphysics. There is not a whole lot we can control about our lives, they're heavily determined. Consequently, it little profits to let what we don't control disturb us emotionally, cause us pain or sadness. It is impossible to utterly eradicate our whimsical emotions, but we can try to minimize them to varying degrees. All modes of God are driven by their desire to stay alive and to be strong. Humans, God's modes that have an advanced capacity of thought compared to other modes, can do better than merely seek to survive and gain power. What benefits humans the most is seeking knowledge of the essence of things in relationship to God's attributes. Knowledge of God is the ultimate good. It enfeebles the grip that passions have over humans. When humans understand that everything that happens to them follows from their very nature, they break free from sadness, stress, and all passions. Humans achieve what Spinoza calls blessedness when they abandon the pursuit of fleeting things and focus on the knowledge of God through his attributes and also through his modes. Genuine care for God's modes, be they people, animals, or plants, brings a state of peace similar to eudaimonia. Spinoza's metaphysics solves a lot of problems like the existence of evil. There is no right or wrong, all things that exist are modes of God. Being moral and caring for God's modes is the only way to being close to God's essence. I think there will be another video on Spinoza, because in many discussions there appears to be a number of inaccuracies concerning Spinozism, and I hope we'll get to discuss all of that. Now this video has reached its end. Until we meet again, be good modes, and have a great day.